Patrick with J&P Cycles, and today we're going to change the primary fluid on our '08 Street Glide. For most bikes like this, most late model baggers and most Harleys in general, this is basically going to be the same procedure for all these, but this one specifically is going to be done on a 2008 Street Glide. We're not going to need much. We have a 5/8 socket, a T27 Torx, of course our trusty torque wrench, and we do recommend that you replace the derby gasket for about $7. It's cheap insurance. So let's go on over here and get the oil out of this thing and get moving. For step one, we are going to take the Torx out of the derby cover and take the derby cover off before we drain any fluid. So T27, these should come out fairly easily. And you could do this while the bike's on the kickstand, but if you did, a bunch of fluid's gonna run out and you can't check the level right. So for this, you're either gonna need a stand or a buddy to hold the bike upright while you do this. This is something that for this particular bike, the manual recommends every 10,000 miles. So depending on how you ride, could be a once or twice a year thing. Or if you're really aggressive or ride the clutch a lot, where you're gonna build up a lot of clutch wear in the primary, you should definitely look at changing it more than maybe the recommended amount, because you're gonna get a lot of clutch fibers and stuff like that built up in the oil. Okay, so derby cover's off. Now we're gonna slide the drain pan underneath here, and probably wouldn't hurt to get the kickstand out of the way. And our drain plug on the primary is right underneath here. So we're gonna let that drain out of there. We can kind of inspect a little bit. Typically, out of all the fluid you take out of your bike, this one kind of smells the most because there's wear happening there in the clutch, and that clutch is getting hot. Fibers are burning a little bit, so this might be the smelliest one of all the fluids. Also, don't dump this oil in your backyard. Almost any auto parts store, you put it in a bucket, take it in there. They have recycle bins available to you. Go dispose of it the right way. Don't dump it at the end of the driveway or in your neighbor's backyard. This is a pretty quick drain. Oh, also, there's a magnet on the end of this drain plug. It's a lot more common to see stuff built up on this plug than any of the other drain plugs, because like I said, there is wear happening in here with the clutch. The clutch is wearing away. So you're gonna see that kind of smudge right there build up. That's not uncommon. It's not a lot of reason for alarm. If it seems excessive, you might want to check your clutch out or maybe adjust it. Also going to want to look at this O-ring on here to make sure it's not damaged. It's a good time to replace that, because if you get this full of fluid and your O-ring starts leaking, you're going to get the drip, 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 and have to drain this all out again. So this one looks good. I cleaned that off the end there. It looks like we're almost done draining. We'll throw the plug back in, and we will tighten it up to the proper torque specs with a torque wrench. You don't want to strip this out down there, because you'll have to replace your inner primary or Healy coil it or something like that, and it won't be a good day. A lot easier just to use a torque wrench the first time. We are just about done. Our torque wrench set up while that's finishing. So all the fluid's drained out of the primary. We're gonna go ahead and put the drain plug back in and torque it down. So we'll get that fed up in there. So I'll run it down with your fingers. It should thread in there really easy. And then of course, like we said, you're gonna wanna use a torque wrench to get it to the proper torque spec. Okay, now we're gonna fill it up. For this particular bike, it calls for 38 ounces, which is going to be a little bit more than our quart. So we'll put a quart and then some, and it should come up just inside here so we can see it. Like I said, it's really important for you to be able to hold the bike upright. So if you don't have a stand, you need a buddy or your wife or girlfriend or significant other to come out and hold the bike up for you. Get the first one in here. It's kind of a tight spot, so you're definitely going to need a funnel. So, today's math lesson, 1 quart equals 32 ounces. We need 38 ounces. So we're going to go ahead, get our second quart, and as you can see, it does the breakdown out here for you. So 32, we need 8 more ounces, we need 6 more ounces, so say it with me, how many ounces do we need, class? 26 ounces left over in the bottle. So we need between 24 and 28. So we're going to pour this in to about right there. Okay, so a little bit more. And we're there, halfway. So for your next primary change, you'll be able to just buy 1 quart, use what's left of this, and your new one, and you'll be in business. So now, we're gonna put the derby cover back on, and in doing so, we're going to change the gasket. This one still has this stock little O-ring on it. We're gonna get rid of that. And then we're gonna replace it with our new gasket right here. These holes will line up, and there is a sequence to put these bolts in. This particular derby cover is just a smooth one, so there's not really an up or a down, but if you do have a derby cover with a graphic on it or something, make sure you get it put in right side up. So we'll get these started, just finger tight. Maybe. So the pattern to torque these down is just basically going in a star pattern. For this particular bike, the torque spec is 84 inch-pounds. I'm gonna run them down with just a touch with my ratchet. But basically, we're gonna go like a star. So that one's barely touching. Go down here. Then back up to this one. Across to the one on my left. And then back down to the bottom right. What that does is it just makes sure it goes on with even pressure. So basically we went like this and made a star. So we'll set up our torque wrench, the right setting, and torque them down. And we will torque it in the star pattern. It's as simple as that. Primary fluid is changed. As always, if you have any questions, you can call us on our 800 number, talk to us on chat, respond in the comment section below, and go work on your bike.